Hello, everyone. So, I've kind of been procrastinating on making this video. One, because I really don't like sharing personal details about my life. And two, I've never asked anybody for help before. Um, it's really uncomfortable for me to ask for help. But the issues in my life right now are kind of too big for me to solve on my own. So, about a month ago, November 24th, I had an electrical fire in my detached garage. And that set off a whole string of subsequent events. So I woke up to my neighbors beating on my door, yelling, "Hey, your house is on fire! Your house is on fire!" I jumped up, ran outside. They had already called the fire department, so about 30 seconds or a minute later, the fire trucks arrived. They went into the garage, put the fire out. But between the fire and all the water from the hoses, I lost a ton of stuff in that garage. Expensive stuff like power tools, air compressor, gym equipment. Then I also lost a lot of sentimental stuff that can't be replaced, like old collectibles and toys. I had a whole box of birthday cards and notes from my family from when I was a kid. And a lot of them were from my great grandma, who has now passed away. Yeah, those little handwritten notes and stuff from her really meant a lot to me. And now they're gone. So I was already kind of torn up by all of that stuff. But that was just the beginning of it. Because after I got inside my house, I realized the basement was flooding. Or maybe like it was a couple hours after, because the water was already pretty high. I heard water down in the basement. I went down and looked. It was like 3 feet high. It turns out all the pressure from the fire hoses burst water lines in my yard. And yeah, so they flooded my basement. And then since the fire was in the electrical panel in the garage, I had no electricity in the house. So obviously I had no sump pumps or anything working in the basement. So the flood just got really, really bad. It ended up being like 4 feet high. I had to rush to Menards to buy a generator to try to connect the sump pump back to. And I got the water down, but then the sump pump died because it was working so hard. So it just flooded again. And we had the water company out there trying to find the shutoff valve. And it took them several hours. It was supposed to be by the curb, but it was actually like halfway up the driveway. But finally they got that shut off, and the guy from the water company actually helped me pump all the water out of the basement, which he said they normally don't do. So that was nice of him. But yeah, so all the water down there bursting through my crawl space into my basement and everything, it chipped away a lot of my bricks and foundation. And since I didn't have any dehumidifiers running, or I don't have any dehumidifiers running, the basement got really moldy. And also, since I don't have any power or heating in the house, all of my exterior walls upstairs, they've been condensating, dripping water very heavily, and they're getting significantly moldy as well. In addition, all the drywall in my house is very moist, and I'm worried about the ceiling and the attic collecting moisture and collapsing. Who knows what's going to happen next? The insurance company has sent 2 guys out now to look at stuff, but they have done absolutely nothing. They haven't even attempted to prevent any further damage to my house. From what they've said, they'll repair the house itself, but they will not repair anything in the garage. And I had a separate contractor out. He did an estimate. He said that the garage could cost between $30,000 to $40,000 to fully repair, and the insurance company is not going to cover any of that whatsoever. And from their comments that they've given me about repairing the house itself, it really just sounds like they're going to do the bare minimum to move me back into my house, but they will not actually replace any of the drywall or anything. which is just going to leave me with a ton of problems in the future, which could cost several more tens of thousands of dollars to fix. For example, the other contractor that I brought out myself, he tested all the moisture and everything. He had a little sensor. He could see how much moisture was in all the walls and ceiling and everything, and they were like 60-70% moist, which he said they're normally supposed to be around 12%. And he said he would probably have to replace all of the drywall in my house. But the insurance company, the contractors they sent out, he said, oh, we'll just throw a couple of dehumidifiers in here. It should all be fine. We shouldn't have to replace any drywall. So I think they're just going to do the bare minimum. And then after they get me moved in, after everyth's settled, I'll have a bunch of problems in the future. And they won't be covered at all since it's so long after the fire. You know, they'll say it has nothing to do with the fire. You just need to maintain your house. It's not our responsibility. So that I'm kind of worried about that. I've been staying in a hotel now for the past month, but my insurance is only going to cover so much of that as well. And when my policy runs out of money and kicks me out of the hotel, I have nowhere to stay at all. I just have to wait for them to, half-ass throw my house back together. And yeah, I recently got married as well. We have a baby on the way now. Worst timing for everything. My wife and I, we were planning on saving money for an actual wedding, since all we did was sign papers at the courthouse without any actual reception. We wanted to have an actual wedding. But it seems like that's out of the picture now. That's off the table. And obviously with the baby on the way, that's going to cost a lot of money as well. That, a baby comes first. We need to buy a lot of baby stuff. Everything was going really well. We were handling everything very responsibly. We had money saved up. Everything was fine. But the whole situation with the fire and the flood, everything has just been a disaster. I had no idea how bad it would be working with an insurance company, how little that they would do to help with anything. I hadn't accounted for that. I hadn't planned for that whatsoever. You think you're paying for insurance. If something goes wrong, you have insurance, you'll be fine. So that wasn't, part of my plan. I feel like I should have had more money saved up for an emergency like this, but at the same time, the insurance is your backup plan, right? If something goes wrong, you have insurance, but they're not doing anything. So, the fact that they haven't even tried to prevent any further damage is really kind of mind-boggling to me, because that should be more money that they're having to spend to fix extra damages. They haven't even put a tarp over the hole in the side of my garage, so any animals, whatever, can get inside there. You'd think they would be in a hurry to get some kind of generator or something out to my house to run dehumidifiers to try to stop all the mold growth, because that's going to cost more money if it keeps getting worse. I don't know. The whole situation just doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm making this video to ask for any type of help possible, whether that's monetary donations, any dollar would help. $1, $5, anything helps. Or if anybody has any connections to try to get some type of contractor work out for free or for very cheap to try to fix things, that would be a huge help. I don't think anybody's going to do that, though, so really donating money would be the best way there, so I can actually hire a contractor and pay them what they want. Or even if you can't donate any money right now, I know things are hard for everybody right now. The economy's rough. If you can't donate anything, it would mean the world to me if you could just share this video, share my GoFundMe link. Even sharing this video would be a tremendous help to me. Yeah, I think that's about it. I will keep everybody updated through Facebook, through YouTube. Thank you for watching.